This is my award-winning 4 LOM costume, which I debuted at Sydney Oz Comic Con in 2019. In the last video I showed you how I made these shoes, but in this video I'm going to talk to you about the other modifications I'm making. So I've been doing a few modifications to this costume because it's getting prepared for a short film, and I've actually got 2 films this year. So the first film is going to get shot in April up in Gold Coast. The next film, not quite sure when that's getting done, but I've been doing some mods just to get it ready for that, and also because there's a few things that I did 6 years ago which I wasn't quite happy with now, and as I've gotten better at building these things, there's a few things that I did back when I made this and I look at now and think, Jesus, what was I thinking? But just some quick refurbishments that I've been made, like the fingers, they had a lot of rubber paint that was peeling. Like these days I would never use rubber paint on plastic, but back then that's what I did. So I've just been stripping that back and just painted it with like a normal spray paint just to fix that up. The other thing that I did was I made some modifications around to the thumb and a few other little tweaks here and there because the hands are really difficult to put on, and now they're a bit easier to put on. But I also had to replace the elastic strap that goes around the ankle, sorry, my wrist, because these original elastics that were on there had sort of deteriorated a lot and were coming off, and the wrist was actually popping out of the forearm part. So another thing that I did was at the top of the upper arm, I shaved off some material off the back because it was really digging in too sharply into the back of my shoulder, and so I've taken about maybe an inch out of the back of that upper tube, which just gives me a little bit more flexibility, and it's not pinching me in places like it was before, so that's a little bit better. And I did a huge rework of this belly disc because I've gotten a bit bigger than I was 6 years ago. I've had to kind of shave down the thickness of the foam just a bit, and the way I did that was just by heating up the plastic of my heat gun to like literally melting point, because EVA foam shrinks, and so what I did was just shrink that out, but then what happened was this disc actually came loose, so I ended up cutting it out completely, shaved out the circumference of where it was, and then replaced it with different glue, because back when I made this I used a lot of hot glue and all sorts of things that I would never use now. So I've been able to pull that out, replace it, glue it back with stronger gel super glue, like a industrial strength super glue, which has made it a little bit stronger actually. So I don't have, I used to have a few stress fractures and cracks around there, so I've been able to put that back in, reshape the stomach area and make that just a little bit angled out at the bottom and just a bit further in at the top. So now it gives me just like it's very subtle, but there's enough clearance there that I was actually able to close myself in, which I couldn't do this morning. So that's what I've been doing today. I was going to make new hands, but I decided that it's probably better just to fix these ones up and keep them because I don't have the time to go and remake those. Modifications to the upper arms were much needed, and I didn't realise that I needed to do that. And another thing that I've done is actually do a refurbishment on the helmet. So the helmet is far more silver than it was before, and in the original movie costume, he had a lot more of a blue silver kind of coloured helmet. So let me just show you another thing. It's probably a little bit hard for you to see in this camera angle, but I also modified the original lenses that I made years ago. I've taken a UV cure resin for moulding like jewellery and little bangles and things like that, and I've actually made these little bubble things more three-dimensional than they were before, because before they were quite flat. I don't even remember what resin or glue I used back then, but now having access to UV cure resin, I was able to make these eyes textured much more like the way they look in the toys. So it's very, very hard to make this look screen accurate because there's not a lot of screen accurate reference images or even photos of the original. There's not a lot of images available. So I've been able to make this much more similar to the toys because they're the best reference images we really can get these days. So that's what I've been doing, and the droid is fitting me better and he looks better than he did before, and I'm very happy. So I think he's going to look very, very awesome on film. But yeah, that's the helmet there with the green, and obviously I can change it to whatever colour I like. Also did some modifications to the helmet on the inside, so it's a lot easier for me to put on because it was quite difficult to put on before. But having a little bit of a silver look to the helmet actually makes him look just a little bit different, even though this is actually more screen accurate. The way I had him before, the helmet was the same colour as this, and a lot of people didn't like that. I didn't really mind, but now he's looking a lot more a lot more accurate to the original film. But overall, it looks really cool and I'm really happy with the progress, and I can't wait to show you all the the couple of films that I'm doing. In the meantime, thank you for watching, and I will see you soon.